Well, boys and girls, here we are once again for a new reveal. This is a 1951D plastic tube roll. It's reveal number 404, and this right here is the tube they are coming out of. This was taped together. I tore the tape off so that we could more easily and quickly get to the coins. 1951D has a number of really nice things we could possibly find in it, so I'm kind of excited about this particular roll. You got 3 different OMMs, you've got a bunch of RPMs, and you've got a really nice double die obverse. Let's check real quick. I want to bring up copper coins here real quick, and I want to check to see if there are double die reverses to be found, because I am unsure at present. That was typing on the floor. That's actually just searching for mint mark varieties. I wanted to check for double die reverses. Nothing listed. And then for the obverse, man, there's... wow. FS101, beautiful. 1953, or 51D, I'm sorry, 51D. Double die there. Awesome listing. Hopefully we can find some of those. Got a couple of double eyelids also available in 1951D. So there's what we've got as possibles. Well, probables, possibles. There could be anything in this roll. You never know. We could discover the next king of double dies here. You never know. But coin number 1. Now for Steven. Let's take a look at coin number 1 and see what we get. I like to check the first few coins very carefully. Very carefully. Make sure that I see everything, catch everything. I don't want to take a chance that I'm going to miss something by speeding through the process. We can start speeding through the process once we know what all of our dies are and what we're looking for. Okay, so I got nothing there. We'll check the reverse on the first 10 coins just to see and check and be sure that we're not missing anything that could be there. That's coin number 1 for Steven. Let me move this camera a little bit. Man, I really hate this setup that I've got. I need to change all this. Been doing this for a while. I think I should probably build something a little more professional. Okay, there we go. Alright, here's coin number 2 now. Coin number 2 to Adam Chambers, who's also Coins and Ghouls. And let's see. Coin number 2 provides us with... you know what I was thinking there for a second. I was looking at that left part right there, looking at what appeared to be maybe a bulge. If that were, it would have been OMM, but it is not an OMM. It is not an RPM. It is not a double die obverse. And it is likely not a double die reverse. That turns out to be correct. So, coin number 2, we have a normal one. Hello, Mr. Worley. There's Joe McBride. Yeah, I was talking to myself for a moment, but that's okay. I know that a lot of the people who've been around here for quite a while have heard this, so I won't dwell on it, but when I first started doing these reveals, it was never my plan to actually have an audience watching while I was doing the reveal. That was not necessarily the initial point of doing this show. The point of the show was to show people that I indeed was randomly picking people's names, because at that time I was basically picking the names out of a bag, and that the reveal was up and up, and I wasn't salting anything, loading anything, or throwing people extra coins or anything like that. That everything was done straight up and honest. Gosh, Really? Dennis, we'll get you credit on this one. I have to write it down. You have to remind me that you get a credit on this one because it's got that Larry all over both sides. It's like somebody was in the middle of eating a chocolate bar when they were packaging this. Anyway, write it down here real quick. Hang on a second. Let me grab my pad. All right. This was, let's see, that was reveal number 402. Now number 404. Got coin number 4 for Dennis. You remember 51? I don't. I wasn't around then. In fact, I don't remember 61. I don't really even remember 71. '81, I'm fully aware of. I was in junior high school in '81. But yeah, 71, I was too much of a little guy. I couldn't remember anything. I think I kind of remember just a little bit of the World Series in 1972. That's about as far back as I go. But man, if I'd been around earlier, even in those days, it was a big deal to have been around buying up older rolls of pennies. Anytime you could buy rolls of pennies back in the day. It was usually a pretty good idea. I do have an example of where it wasn't necessarily such a great idea, though. I have, at some point, I'm going to actually get it out and do a film of it and everything else, but I have a roll with an original receipt. It is a 1960 small date roll with the original receipt from the 1960s. I believe it was 1965 when this was purchased. It was purchased for, I think it was $325, a roll of 1960 small date Lincoln cents. I've got the roll sitting here, and I've got the receipt flattening out in a book. And as soon as I'm rather confident that it's nice and flat and it's not going to curl up on me or anything, I'll get it out, and I'll probably do some sort of a frame. I'm trying to think of some sort of a frame that I can do with the coins, or some of the coins from the roll. But yeah, a 1960 small date roll currently available for, that is a really small split lower serif. I'm going to hold this one out just in case, because we might be able to get that listed. I'm not going to promise anything, but we're going to try. See what's there. That one's for crispy. But yeah, could you imagine in 1965 dollars, which back then you could buy a car for $2,000. You could buy a house for $20,000. You're talking about spending $300 plus on a roll of pennies. I don't even know if anybody can do the little bit of research that it takes to find out what $325 in 1965 is worth now. That would be interesting to know. Oh, no, they're not worth near that much now. I mean, 1960 small date rolls can be found for $100 to $150. So next one up for Deanne. If Deanne will get credit on this one. That's just ugly. All right, mark out coin number 10 for Deanne. All right, here's the coin number 11 now. This one's for Eric. And Eric will get that little bit of crusty stuff on the coin. I'm not really sure exactly what that is. Comes from the way it was stored, though. Wow, $360 in 1965 is worth $3,285.76 now. Could you imagine paying $3,000 for a 1960 roll of pennies? Not me. Not unless all of them were guaranteed to grade MS67 red. Yeah, it was like $325, $353. I can't remember exactly what the price was, but it was $300 and change. One of these days I'll get that whole kibosh out and I'll do a little video about it. Sometimes buying rolls doesn't necessarily pay off. Most of the time it pays off. Most of the time you do pretty well with it. Alright, here's coin number 13 now. Coin number 13 goes back to Dennis. And Mr. Dennis will get some of those little tiny RPMs. It's just a little tiny split on the lower serif. You've got that die scratch running between the 1 and 9 and 8. All of these coins have a little bit of moisture issue in the way they were stored. That's coin number 13. Yeah, I'd like to sell them for that much too. If I could get that much money for them, I would probably sell all the rolls I have. The 1960 small date rolls. I have, I think 15 now. 15 rolls. I have no interest in selling them, so don't offer. Unless you want to offer me $3,280. And then I'll just call you a nut. You can find them out there. I mean, you know, they have them on eBay once in a while. They typically go for $300 to $400 a roll on eBay. Why, I don't know, but they do. Mine I'm keeping because they're scarce. That's all there is to it. They're just scarce. You just don't see rolls of 1960 small date that much anymore. Used to be a little more common than they are now. But in recent years, they have become rather scarce. I have a couple of different people who call me bothering me to sell them rolls of 60 small date on a pretty regular basis, and I just say, nope, not interested. Don't want to sell them. There's some pretty coins, a few pretty coins here. I mean, there's not very many of them that are all that nice, but there's a few of them that are kind of pretty. Rolls of 1960 small date, Bill? Not 60D small date, but 60 Philadelphia small date. I don't sell rolls of 60 Philadelphia small date. If I ever did, it was a mistake. It was an unintended consequence. Well, this one's way toned down. It's got, since a lot of these have some sort of spotting on them. Odd color changes running through them. This one was for Crispy. Crispy, I'll get you credited on this one. This one's not so pretty. Now here's one for Deanne. at 21. Sureg. Nothing there either. 22. Stanley. Ooh, Stanley's going to get a recoup on this one. I can tell that already. This thing's just ugly. What is that? It's the same die as a number of these others that I've pulled out. Stanley, you're going to get a recoup on this one too. So no charge to Stanley. You talking about small dates, Malcolm? 60 Philly small date? Oh, let's see. Diane? Let's see what we got for Diane here. Let's move this over just a little bit. There. Diane? They're nice, clean-looking coins for the most part, but there are just no die varieties here. Which, that's not, like, usual or unusual. It's just kind of a fact. Unintended consequence. Yeah, but a lot of people get confused with the Philly and the Denver for 60 small date. They're really pushing to get. So I want 60 small date rolls, or they'll say, I'll say, you know, they'll ask me, well, what are you looking for? And I'll say, well, I'm always looking for 60 small date rolls. Oh, I've got a bunch of those. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, no, I do. I've got a bunch of them. I said, okay, well then send me a message and show me pictures of what you have. It's almost every single time. Their pictures are all 60D small date. I mean, dude, those aren't scarce. That's the Philly small dates that are scarce. I mean, the D-Mint rolls can have some nice stuff in them, but they're not worth anywhere near the $100 that the Philly Mint rolls are worth. And the Philly Mint rolls, that's dealer bid price. That's a wholesale price. Their typical retail, if you look on eBay, they're generally $200 to $400, somewhere in there. I wish I knew what this stuff was. What color is that stuff that's on these coins? Somebody tell me what color that stuff is. You can tell me what color it is. I might be able to figure out what it is. This one for Yo Man. Yeah, that stuff. It's like residue from something. It's whitish. Okay. I'm going to have to go with... What's a reverse on this one look like? Where's the coin? Here it is. I'm going to have to go with probably some residue from how the coin was stored. I'm going to try something on this one. If it doesn't come out better, then I'll just give Yo Man credit. Okay, so watch. Look at this coin. Look at exactly what all that looks like right now. Okay, get a good look. All right. Now, give me just a minute. I have a feeling that stuff comes right off the coin. Nope. Well, some of it did. Some of it came off. A little concentration, a little bit of time, that all will come off of there. Xylene, boys and girls, xylene. The magic stuff. Fumes will kill you, but it's magic stuff. Here's number 28. Mr. Birchman. I'm going to try it again. He won't care. It's like he doesn't want a coin that looks like this anyway. So I'll give it a shot. See what happens. I think I can make that stuff come off of there successfully. Which means without scratching the coin. And without dulling the coin. This comes off nice and clean, and I'm going to feel a lot less apprehensive about the overall quality of this roll. Yeah, it's going to be fine. That stuff pops off the coin. I didn't get it all off, but a little bit of a soak and it'll pop off. $29, Stephen. Mineral oil would work too. That is correct. You just have to soak it for longer. It could take a few days in mineral oil. But mineral oil is completely inert to copper, so it's not going to hurt anything. I just don't know what that stuff is, though. It's weird. It seems to be on all the coins in the roll, which means that the roll was stored together for a long time. Which should be the case if it's an original roll, which I believe it is. Come on, where are you? Here you go. With that, along with the fact that it doesn't seem there's any die varieties in this, which, I mean, it's one of the days that the mint got it right, you know? Verdigris? I know verdigris is usually greenish. Does this have a greenish color? Because verdigris is also usually very steadfastly attached to the coin. It won't come off no matter what you do. Nice little die crack right there. Nothing on that reverse. Okay, coin number 32 now. Nothing there. That one's for Eric. 33. Oops. 33 goes to Mike. And kind of got a nobody there too. It's kind of interesting sometimes going through these rolls. You just find out what was packaged. You know, what you would find if you were 20 years old in 1951 and you decided you wanted to start looking for die varieties that nobody knew about, and you know, just to see what you'd find. And well, this is a good example of just exactly that. Here's what you would find on any given 1951 Denver roll in 1951. Except maybe whatever developed on these coins would not have had a chance to do that. It's number 35 now. Number 35 goes to Ant2242. I am not finding anything in this roll. This is that same die right there with that concentric die gouge. It just seems to be a rule more than it's an exception, you know. There's number 36 for Carl. And it's got a Larry right on the date. Another one of the same die, though. This is an original roll. Can't be all that greatly in original condition, but it is an original roll. Here's Int 2242. I mean, all the coins are uncirculated, that's for sure. It's another one. Two $25 boxes of pennies. Only found 3 wheat pennies. Wow. Yeah, they're starting to get a little more sparse. Part of the reason for that is they haven't been made in 60 years, and we are now at a point where we have made so many coins since then that natural attrition has basically taken most of the wheat pennies out of change. Hello, Wanda. You know, that is true, Dennis, that the best die varieties tend to come around during times of war. And I think some of that might have been because of the attempt to salvage and save old things for new. The reason, I mean, what we're saying is like World War I. You have the 18 over 17 D nickel. You have the 18 over 17 S quarter. World War II. You have the 1942 over 41 dime in Philadelphia and Denver. You have the 1943 doubled I nickel. You have the 43 over 2 nickel. You've got really nice 43 double die reverse nickel. You've got the 44 D over S Lincoln cents. I mean, I could go on, right? Vietnam War, I mean, I don't know that this has anything to do with anything, but Vietnam War, well, Korean War, you don't really have much, but Vietnam War, well, Korean War, okay, this was made just after Korean War 1951 here. So you have, the 51D over SRP OMMs, you have the 51D double die, you have the 1952D OMMs. You have a really nice RPM for 1952. So then, what else? Oh, well, okay, Vietnam era. Not necessarily going to say this really has anything to do with the war effort in Vietnam, but you do have the 1972 double dies. Why we weren't at war in 1995 when that double die came out, or 83 or 84. I mean, we weren't in war then. I mean, Yugoslavia was in a war in 83 and 84, but we weren't. Yeah, you'd want to search bags, that's right, not rolls. All right, here's one that's turned almost completely brown. Nothing there. It's red on one side and brown on the other. This was a roll ender. You know what this was back in the day. Before this went in the tube, it was a roll ender. Here's Steven. Steven. It's another one of that little die again that has the, it's got a bunch of grime up here, like little die dots and scratches and stuff, but what I noticed more is that it had some really light die scratches going diagonal through the mint mark. Seen this roll, this die a whole bunch of times in this roll. Who wants to do another proof pull? What do you think about proof pull? You want to do a proof pull again? I kind of like the proof pulls. I think they're kind of fun. Throw a couple of really good ones in there and throw a bunch of them in there that you have a chance of finding some double dies in. Steven says I can count him in. Wanda, she likes that idea. I just like using Wanda's poker chips. Wanda sent me those poker chips, believe it or not. Yeah. Here's coin number 46. Looks like I'm going to be short a couple of coins in this roll. This is for Mr. Reese. Right, yeah, I said that, Dennis. The Vietnam War, you also had the 69S double die. You have a 70S double die. You got the 68D double die reverse, 66 double die reverse, the 64 double die reverse. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happened during Vietnam, but I think by the time Vietnam came around, I don't think they were really affecting a whole lot about what the Mint did with regard to there being a war. I mean, I could imagine it affecting things in 1917, 18, 1942, 43, 44 back in then. How would you guys think about a proof pull doing nickels? Proof nickels. Let's say $1 a coin. What do you think? Proof nickels. Any interest there? Wanda would do proof nickels. Okay, I'm missing 2 coins at the end of this roll. The 2 coins I'm missing would go to Deanne and Taco John. So Deanne and Taco John will get credit for this particular lot. Age range, let's say 1955 up through about 2005. And let's see, an XX for 49 and 50 for Deanne and Taco John. Wow, Deanne really got the hit on this one. I've got to give money back for 2 coins. 2 coins in this one roll for Deanne. Folks, this turned out to not be such a wonderful roll. Not as good as I thought it would be. There are 2 minor RPMs in here, one for Dennis and one for Crispy. And that's really all that's here. Get these 2 dies, 2 coins back out here. Dennis and Crispy. There we go. That's all we got, folks. That's all there is. So, a nickel proof pull. I can probably have that ready for next week. We can have a nickel proof pull. We can also do another Lincoln cent proof pull. Of course, the nickel proof pull, I guess the draw to that one would be that they're $1 a piece. I may have to do. I'm going to have to check my pricing on them. They may have to be $1.50 a piece, but $1.50 whatever, because I've got to pay back. There's a few things I have to do with that. I won't be attributing any die varieties there. You'll have to find your own. The show where I'll be doing the proof pull, I think I'll do the proof pulls. I'll go ahead and do the proof pulls in the regular auction on Tuesday. Proof pull, poker chip pull, same thing. So we're pulling poker chips out to determine who gets the next coin in the box. Remember? That's how we do that. Get a bag full of poker chips. Each have names for each of the people who purchased a spot. And then those poker chips are used to go back in the box with the next coin, whoever that would be. We'll have back to 1954 in the nickels, back to 1953 in the Lincoln cents. Lincoln cents will go roughly 53 up through 2019, 2020. The Jefferson nickels will go from 1954 through, I'm going to say probably about 2004, 2005, 2006. And I'll probably do one this coming week. I'll do the penny proof pull, and then I'll do the nickel proof pull before that. Black beauties, I'm not really sure that I can control whether or not they're going to be black beauties, but there will likely be some toned coins, especially some lightly toned coins. Henning nickels, no, there won't be any of those in there. But no Henning nickels. We're not going to be doing that. But yeah, sure. I mean, I'll put together what it takes to get a proof pull going for pennies this coming week, and then we'll do nickels the following week. And I guess I can do probably up to 200 spots, maybe up to 200 spots, 10 per person maximum is what I'd do. The proof penny pulls, have to look back on what I charged for them before I'll do the same thing. And then the proof nickel pulls I'll do for $1.50 a coin. $1.50 a coin. I might even throw a couple of 81S Type 2s in there or something just to give us something special, you know? But, yeah, sure. I mean, we'll do that. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and take off and take these reveals and wrap them up, put them in a box, and get them ready for Eric to do his thing with. And it's 10 o'clock in the evening. I guess it's about time to shut down for the night. I've been in here since, 10 o'clock today, so I've been in here about 12 hours now. So I appreciate it. You guys have a great night. And let's see, what's coming up? Today's Thursday. Tomorrow there's going to be 2 more reveals. What did we do today? 402, 403, 404. Yeah, there'll be a 405 and 406 tomorrow, and then 407 for 405, 6, and 7. Is that right? 5, 6, and 7 will be tomorrow. I don't know. I've got them all scheduled, so you can go find them. I appreciate it, folks. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.